Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Eelco. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. It could be any review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, topics, reactions, whatever the case may be, and I'll get to as soon as I possibly can. So thank you. The Forger from 2014. Sorry for that awkward pause. Because I really did not know, still don't know what to say about the film. Eelco, I know, is a fan of the film, or he didn't mind it. I'll put it that way, he didn't mind the film. I don't know, I'm watching this and going, it's not the worst film I've ever seen, but I honestly thought it was a very bland, boring film. It's a very slow-paced film. Not a whole lot happens in it. And I liked John Travolta. I know a lot of people don't like him. I always liked Travolta. I love Broken Arrow. I liked Pulp Fiction. I liked Grease, Saturday Night Fever, Blowout. Blow Out. I even enjoyed The General's Daughter, the movie that is. Don't know the daughter in person, but I like the movie. And lately, he's been stuck in the direct-to-video bin for the longest time. I can't even remember the last film he did in theaters. I mean, would it have been Gotti? Gotti was pretty bad. I like The Punisher, 2004, which was 10 years before this. But this is definitely in the direct-to-video realm. And I hate to say it, while this film is more of just a traffic accident, I would probably rather watch The Fanatic than this movie. Because that film would technically be worse, but it was so fascinating and kind of funny and like, what the hell's going on? That it did make me like, This was kind of like, Okay, the premise is John Travolta has about 9-10 months left in his jail term, his jail sentence. He calls a guy, he gets out. Come to find out, he called a guy who bribed a judge to get Travolta out of jail, but you owe me a favor. The favor being Travolta has to forge this Monet painting and steal the real one. So he has to make a forgery, go in, switch it, and get the painting back to this guy, played by Anson Mount, who he's Captain Pike on the Star Trek Strange New Worlds TV show. And then he was on the STD Star Trek Discovery. Now, the reason Travolta wanted to get out of jail early, even though he doesn't really want to do this stuff with, the forgery of the painting, is so he could spend time with his son. His son is played by Ty Sheridan. Ty Sheridan, he was Cyclops in X-Men Apocalypse and X-Men Dark Phoenix, among other movies he was in. His son was living with Travolta's father, played by Christopher Plummer, and we find out that Ty Sheridan, he has cancer. They don't know how long it'll be. I don't know. I don't know if they specified a time. And then that's pretty much it. It's either him spending some time with his son, which I would say is some of the better moments of the film. Because I do think Travolta and Ty Sheridan has some decent chemistry with each other. a couple nice little sweet moments. Whether the kid has some wishes, like to spend time with his mom, Travolta makes it happen, and the three of them kind of wander around the park or whatever. Or when the kid, there's a point where they have to escape these cops, and he feels a bit of jolt and excitement, and he wants to help, and Travolta begrudgingly lets him in on what's going on. And there's a point where the kid wakes up and he had a nightmare, and we could guess what the nightmare was about, and Travolta comforts him. There's a couple nice little moments here and there. But, and Christopher, like I said, Ty Sheridan was fine. Christopher Plummer is the dad, the grandfather, how you want to put it. Travolta's dad, Ty's grandfather. Good, capable actor. I still remember him from Star Trek 6 as the Klingon that spoke Shakespeare. He had a good, solid actor, Christopher Plummer. But the film just comes off as too bland, too slow, and a lot of times just too boring. This feels like a movie that would be done in half the time that this running time is. And the running time is only an hour and 30 some, hour and 35. Like, it's not a 2 hour movie, but it feels like it. And I'm not sure if I buy Travolta's Boston accent. I thought he was kind of really. I didn't buy it. And why does he have this stupid, annoying soul patch? He has like a little pubic hair thing right here on his chin. I just want him to shave it off. Not many people can rock the soul patch. Travolta is not one of them that can rock the soul patch. And of course, he's wearing a wig because he's bald. But the soul patch bothered me more. And again, the Boston accent is, I don't know, man. And a lot of times she just talking kind of quietly and kind of talking very quietly, like talking like this. And I don't want to say he seemed bored, but just very low energy performance for a good chunk of the film. And it's just kind of. It feels like there should be more about this whole forging of the art, but a lot of times it feels like it's in the backdrop, in the background. Only once in a while does it pop back up, and it's. Him talking with his kid, or him talking with Christopher Plummer, or going to see Anson Mount, and Mount says, well, either you're going to do this, or you're going to be put right back to the jail. Also, there's this female cop. It's a very flimsy role where the guy keeps going, well, this guy broke all these things. He could go back to jail. He broke his probation. And the girl's like, well, wait a minute, let's see what's going on here. Wait a minute, let's see what's going on here. In other words, don't go in and arrest the guy, because the movie will be over if he just went back to jail now. It's not an action film at all. I wasn't expecting it, but the only few bits is, like, there's a bit where he tries to get some info or something, and guys beat him up and throw him out. And then the director did this choice where he shoots like all the way from like a block away. So the people are like this, they're like this big, right? Imagine the street, the block at nighttime, and they're literally this big. They're this big. Maybe this big. They're this big. And he's like, okay, in case I put the poster there. He's like going to the car. Yeah, like he's going to the car, gets a baseball bat, comes over here, whacks someone over there, and whacks someone over there, and I'm like, why is this whole scene from a whole fucking block away? For all I know, that wasn't even John Travolta there, because you can't even see the faces or anything, because they're so fucking far away. Like there'll be Keanu Reeves stunt team from the Matrix for all I fucking know. I don't know. That was such a weird choice. I'm still trying to wrap my head as to why you would do that. The heist just comes off as so damn boring. They're in the museum. The kid hid in the ceiling. When it's locked up, he kind of comes down. Travolta, Plumber, and this other guy come in, unlock the door, scan the thing. Plumber knows which buttons to hit after seeing the fingerprints. They go in. They kind of sneak around high. There is no suspense. You never feel like they're going to get caught. There's no sense of danger. They switch the paintings. And then super spoilers. Travolta knows this girl is a cop, says, hey, wait a minute. And she listens to him, just as, just has to be. Travolta, I just knew the handsome out may screw him over. So Travolta goes, listen, are we done? No, they beat him up for a bit. We're going to do this and that, and we're going to tell him what's in that museum, and you're going back to jail. So Anson Mount takes one of his guys, get that painting to the guy who wants it, as well as his bag of money. The henchman goes to the guy. The guy who wanted the paint all along, he's Julio Oscar Michoso. I recognize him. He was one of the pilots in Jurassic Park 3. He was also, remember the first Bad Boys film? Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, but you had two other cops. He was one of the two other cops with, I think, Nestor Serrano. So one of those two cops, as well as Jurassic Park 3, he's in here. A kind of looks it over and tells him to get away. Unbeknownst to the henchman, Christopher Plummer is there to go in and say, hey, yeah, this is a fake. He's lying. But it's the lie that, yeah, it's a fake. They give you a fake. They give you a phony. And so the guy gives him this money as a thank you. Christopher Plummer leaves. And then John Travolta tells the cop, listen, you call your buddies, go over there. That's the real painting. That's the real Monet. You bring the painting back, and he's in possession of the stolen painting. Anson Mount is found dead, crushed by his weights, I guess by Julio's men. Travolta, Christopher Plummer, and the kid get away with it, take that money, and go to Tahiti or where it's at. No, there's no cure where the kid's miraculously saved or anything. It's just kind of the kid's in a hammock, Travolta's looking out to the sea, and then the movie's over. It just came off as very nothing to it. Just that's what I mean. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. The acting by Travolta just at times feels a bit tired. There's a couple decent moments he has with the kid. But again, just the way he looks with the soul patch looks goofy to me. The Boston accent I thought was more in the way, and I don't know, was more distracting to me than anything. Because I don't think he was pulling it off that great. And I don't know, it just... The whole art forgery thing, they didn't really dive a whole lot into, just barely. Mostly in one scene, where he's showing his kid telling about certain things about it. But you don't really get a whole lot much into the detail of that type of crime. Just for a good chunk of it, Travolta doesn't want to do it. It's either him trying to awkwardly make breakfast, or the kid saying I want to get laid and take him to a whorehouse, but it didn't work out, or other stuff happening. So it just feels like a big pile of meh. Only watch this if you're a diehard John Travolta fan. I don't even know why this was made. I really do not. It's one of the more forgettable Travolta films I've seen. There's nothing in it that's other than Soul Patch that is like, oh my god, so bad it's memorable. I mean, this might be the most forgettable Travolta film I've seen. It's not the worst, but it may be the most forgettable. So take that for what you will. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.